910, San Francisco's talk station.
Welcome back, Cory and Joel. Talk 910. I'm Cory. He's Joel. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook. Just search for Cory and Joel. You'll find us. We are joined now by Mistress Harley. She is a tech dom.
We talked a little bit about her yesterday.
Financial dominatrix. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us.
Oh, my pleasure.
Now, so people can, if they missed the show yesterday, they get an idea. What exactly is a tech dom? I mean, I know people, they'll immediately hear the word dominatrix and think it's sexual. So what is a tech dom?
A tech dom is somebody like me who uses high-tech devices in order to control people's sex lives and incorporate that into whatever fetishism they kind of engage in.
So you control their tech life. You control them with technology, meaning you hack into their accounts?
No. Hacking is something that is illegal, and I do not do anything that is illegal.
Okay.
People invite me into their computers. So, like, if you open the door to your house and you yell, "Excuse me, please come rob my house," has anybody committed a crime?
Right. So it's like, if someone said, they opened the door and said, "Hey, I really get turned on when people steal my TV."
Exactly.
So it's like that?
Yes, it's exactly like that, except that these men are really men that tend to get excited around financial control, because I think that especially in this world of like where we have our online lives, your sexuality and technology become entrenched the same way your Facebook social life and your real social life are entrenched.
So how did you get into this line of work?
I was actually a technical project manager in the video game industry for about 5 years.
And you're based in San Francisco now.
Yes.
Were you like a Silicon Valley techie?
Yes, I won't tell you what companies
We're not gonna ask.
I worked for, but I interviewed with like Disney and EA and like big companies. So, but that was like slavery, like going to an office every day and you work every day and like you wake up, your commute and laundry. It was all terrible. And so I started doing some like online dominatrix stuff on the side because I was doing just recreational BDSM here in the San Francisco Bay Area community. And that started being really productive financially for me.
So online, when you first get into that, I'm assuming there's a forum or a chat room, or how do you learn about the whole blackmail or financial
that is an interesting thing, because
how do you discover that that's a fetish?
Yeah, well, as I think you start to explore these things, you listen to the people that approach you. So, like, you would never think that somebody would want to have their TV stolen. But then when someone comes to you and is like, "Excuse me, beautiful woman, please steal my television."
By the way, just in case, I don't know if I do, but just in case I do have some sort of fan who wants to turn me on, I don't get turned on by my TV being stolen. Please don't come steal my TV. But I won't be happy.
I really respect what you're saying. I mean, in my impression, when you talk about these individuals who are part of this sort of relationship, I imagine that the individuals may be people who have a lot of control of a lot of finances in their own lives, and being able to give that up without giving up the business, it would be a very interesting relationship to have.
Well, if you're somebody at a distance who wants to experience real life control, and that control, of course, extends beyond your bank account. So people have fetishism like wanting to be dressed in a transgender manner, like sissy play, or a variety of other things. So usually the financial control helps get you to the other place. So, for example, if your fetishism is really like foot worship, but you just can't get yourself out there to lick a foot, I take over your bank account, and now you know what happens if you don't go lick a foot?
Oh, it gives them an excuse to go explore their own fetishes.
Right.
So it's a little like permission, but also
I didn't have a choice. I had to do it.
But yes. I never wanted to wear these women's panties, I swear. But that mean woman took my bank account and made me do it.
So they give you permission to control her bank account, and you threaten to take their money or to give their money, or
a variety of things. You know, consent is important to me,
Yeah.
and so I negotiate limits and those things beforehand. But so in some cases, like with blackmail fetishists, it might be that I have a photo of you where you have a picture that says exposed for Mistress Harley at mistressharley.com, and then I say, okay, well, if you don't do that thing for me, that thing that you really want to do, like, because I don't get anything out of you wearing panties, like, you know, but if you don't do that thing for me, then I'm gonna post your picture on Facebook, and I've done that before. I have totally exposed people.
Oh, have you actually
Yes.
Well, you
gone
have to
through
be-
with a threat?
You have to.
You have to be willing, wouldn't you?
And obviously, like, I try to give them plenty of opportunities. So, like, I'll say, like, okay, well, if you don't do this, I'm going to post your picture. Like, just like mom, right? Okay, if you don't do this, I'm going to post your... Okay, well, if you don't do... Okay, well, now this is the relationship that you have engaged in with me.
And that must be something that they're, since you give them, obviously, opportunity to say, all right, I'll do it, then them not doing it, they might want you to then post it, and that's part of the play?
Yes, I think so.
bit.
And I think, you know, it can be difficult to read, but
Right.
I use my best judgment in terms of, like, well, I gave this person a very easy task. Like, all you have to do for me to not post this picture is write me a 1-paragraph essay about why you suck.
Right.
And if you didn't do that,
Yeah.
like, you are...
Then you want the photo.
You're right. Like,
Yeah.
it's a process of elimination.
So what are some of the things that they ask you to do then with their account? Well, first of all, I guess when they first contact you or go through your website, which
And this
is...
MistressHarley.com.
I was going to repeat it. I like mistressharley.com.
See,
Right?
he's well trained.
Yes. And he just went bright red. He's like, I am.
I am a 14-year-old boy.
But
I am.
so they'll give you passwords for whatever they want, the things that they do want you to control. And what are the things that they ask you then to do that, you know, either take over their computers or find a file, or what is
It's a variety of stuff, and you know, everyone's different. Some people want me to snoop through their files and figure out who they are and where they live and get their social security numbers. Other people want me to DJ their pornography. Like, oh yeah, now you have to watch this video, you bad boy. Like,
and are you doing this through online communication then as well?
Yeah, computer sharing software. There are a variety of ways that you can share your desktop with somebody else. And so whatever computer sharing software is appropriate for their machine, I tell them to install, and then we start that session. But sometimes people just want phone control. Some people don't involve the technology at all. They literally just give me their bank account information, or I have them sign like a legal debt contract that says they owe me $10,000. And then those people just make payments every month, and I don't even talk to them. Like, I just got a $400 payment this morning from a guy who's just obligated to pay me.
Well, and he feels that obligation.
He feels it strongly. Yes.
We're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm very okay with it.
And so, since we're talking about the payments, how successful is this?
I mean, I'm incredibly successul. I live in the city of San Francisco. I do no job for a living. Like, you guys are at work.
How much do you, if you don't mind saying, how much do you make a month, a year, or a day? Or
You know, on a good day, it's like around $5,000.
$5,000?
Yes, human American
Wow.
dollars. But that also includes a lot of, like, I get a lot of very expensive gifts,
Yeah.
like, you know, $1,000 shoes and dresses and.
I'm sorry, you said a day?
Yes, a day. But of course I don't interact with these gross guys like every day.
No, I know, but I'm just thinking that, I don't know, you know, just in the spirit of capitalism, if you wouldn't mind a little competition, and maybe Joel and I could, that sounds
Cory.
lucrative.
Mr.
Cory?
So, you know, men do try to enter the financial domination world, and I see them and I laugh. Because in a supply and demand economy, male sexuality is for free everywhere. I would pay to make it go away. But female sexuality, there you go. You know, but female sexuality, to get a woman to engage with you, and so many of these men are married and can't explore within their relationships.
And they may not be able to talk with the partner who they've loved forever about certain things. And so having this outlet would be a real boon for their marriage.
Yes, and you know, sometimes I really will counsel them to, like, I've told guys, I'm like, you have to put your wife in therapy immediately. I said, if she's not cheating on you and she hasn't had sex with you in 10 years, like, something is wrong with her.
Right.
So, like, go get counseling, have her talk to a medical doctor, like, make sure everything's okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't, I am going to send
Punish
$10,000
Yes.
to the college fund of this person.
Yes.
So go back to the men that are, I guess, in the financial world, or they're successful people, and so they control the money. So they want their money to be controlled, and all the kind of things that's going on in the financial world. Does that affect things like with I'm trying to get a long way to go to Brexit with Britain exiting?
Where are you going with this?
Of the European Union.
Yeah.
Was that a big turn on for your clients?
Well, considering my clients experienced a further loss of control as their country fled what most consider to be a peaceful union, and as their currency dropped, they became more desperate, I think, for female attention. Because, first of all, I'm sorry, British boys, but they're all sissies, right? I mean, because it's a country with a monarchy, so a woman rules above all, and all those guys want to do is put on panties, and they've got all kind of gay panic about it.
Right.
And they just can't even.
I've watched Many Hill.
Exactly. Yes. So having those economic turns are always really interesting for me, especially as I see influx of new clients from Russia and the Czech Republic, and so I start looking at their money and what's going on with you?
You watch the Dow crashing, you're like, oh, it's going to be a good week.
But you have to have a certain amount. Well, you obviously have a certain amount of skill technologically to be able to do that, to be able to enter and exit somebody's computer and their lives as well, because you could also accidentally screw something up if you didn't know what you were doing.
Oh, totally. And there have been times, sometimes people ask me to destroy their computer, which I know, this look on your face, I agree. Why? But I can do that with a command line in 5 minutes. And so, the number of times that you end up in these situations where it's okay, well, how do you destroy somebody's computer in 5 minutes that's non-recoverable? But working in high tech for so long, and then I also have my master's is in library science and information technology. So having those backgrounds really allowed me to this is just doing QA. This is no problem. What system are you on? Oh my God, I hate Windows 10.
But that's one other level of control, because if you're an individual in the financial world or in any of those business sort of settings, you feel as though you have to always be on top of not only the finances but the technology. And the reality is, unless you're taking courses or unless you're studying it, it's very difficult to keep up. So to have somebody come in who kind of knows a lot more than you do, to give up that control and to admit it would be fascinating.
We're speaking with Mistress Harley. She's a tech dom again. This is someone who men pay to control them financially and also technologically, right? Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah,
and,
my pleasure.
Again, give out your website to all of our interested fans.
I am Mistress Harley at mistressharley.com, and I'm the one and only tech dom.
And what we'll do is we'll tweet out a photo after the interview, because I think we have a couple of photos so that people
I look amazing.
So people can follow Mistress Harley as well on Twitter.
That was before I ran you through your paces.
That's right.
And now Cory is all red.
My job here is done.
Actually, we always, because we talk about various sex things on the show and fetishes, we talked about this tickle endurance thing.
Oh, yes.
That movie Tickled that came out. And it's one of those things where you get through something, you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not that, because I watched all the tickle. I watched all the tickle stuff. I was like, well, I apparently don't get turned on by that tickling. And then now talking about financial domination, maybe it's because I don't have any finances to dominate. I'm like, nope, pass that. Okay, I'm not into that. Keep going, keep exploring.
Keep moving.
Nothing
forward.
Against it. Just keep exploring. Yeah. Find your own thing. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. If you guys ever need a sex expert in the area, I'm always happy to come in.
Absolutely, we'd love to have you on again.
Wonderful.
Thank
Cory and
you.
Joel talk.